Sports is storytelling. Blake, what are you talking about? I'm glad you asked. You see, when I was younger, I wasn't really much of a sports fan. I mean, yeah, I watched the Olympics and I'd pull for the home teams, but that was really more of a default. When it came to actually watching the games, most of the time I could take it or leave it. As time went on, I slowly started to get more into the New Orleans Saints, which was difficult because this was the Jim Haslett era. Like, imagine if somebody didn't start watching The Office until after Michael Scott left. There you go. What really changed my perspective, though, like so many other things, was Hurricane Katrina. Those of you who are younger or are not from the New Orleans area, you probably can't understand just how deep a wound that left on this entire part of Louisiana. It felt as though the whole world was ending, like New Orleans was never going to recover. When the Saints went to play in San Antonio because the Superdome was unusable, there were a lot of people who thought they were never going to come back. But they did. They fixed the dome. The Saints came home. And then, on September 25th, 2006, the first game back in the Dome against the hated Atlanta Falcons, there was that moment. Steve Gleason blocked a punt and flipped a switch that energized the entire city. This is what I mean when I say that sports is storytelling. New Orleans had been hurt so badly that the only thing that could possibly give it life would be to give it something to rally behind, give it something to pull together. The Saints at that moment were more than a team, and that was more than a game. It was a crucial part of the story of the city of New Orleans. And in that moment when the punt was blocked, that was the Act 3 twist that we had all been waiting for. For a lot of people, that was the signal that maybe this was a story that could have a happy ending after all. You don't think that was important? How many football stadiums do you know that have a statue of a blocked punt outside? What I came to realize is that sports are just another form of storytelling. And like all great storytelling, it has the power to bring people together. It gives people something to share. The stories that mean something to us, the stories that matter to us, they're fundamental to our sense of being. All of the truly important things that make us who we are stories. Sports are stories. History is stories. Religion is stories. And the fandoms that you choose are not insignificant. They are a critical part of you. I took my family to church last night so that we could wake up at 7 a.m. today and watch the gold medal hockey game between the US and Canada. And it was worth it because we got to see an incredible victory. We saw Jack Hughes hit that goal in overtime. We saw him bloodied and proud. We watched the team carry out the jersey of Johnny Gaudreau, a teammate who had passed away. We saw them take his children onto the ice to celebrate, and we wept. It was one of those shared moments. In fact, it was almost like a sequel to one of the greatest moments in American sports history. I am talking, of course, about the Miracle on Ice, 1980, the Lake Placid Olympics. Hollywood couldn't have scripted a better story, and they've tried. They've made documentaries. Disney made a narrative movie out of it. But nothing's as great as the real thing. A U.S. team straight out of Central Casting, a bunch of plucky underdogs who had never even played together 6 months before the games. They're facing the Soviet Union, hockey juggernauts, bitter rivals that had beaten the pants off that U.S. team just a few weeks earlier in an exhibition game. Nobody thought that they could win, and we all know what happened. It was such a perfect cinematic victory that half the time we forget that wasn't even the gold medal game. They had to go on to beat Finland to win the gold medal. And the only reason I remember it was Finland is because I watched the documentary a few days ago. Being a sports fan activates a certain part of our brain. It makes us feel like part of something bigger than ourselves. And I think that that is something that is critical to most human beings. We don't want to be alone. We want to be part of a group. And the stories that we choose are one of the ways that we decide what our tribes are. And that's true of sports fans more than anybody. We never say, my team won the Super Bowl. We say, we won the Super Bowl, as if we were out on the field there with them. Even at the height of the Twilight phase, there was nobody walking around out there saying, we married Edward. At least, I don't think there were. You go to church, that's your tribe. You go to the movies, the people there watching it with you, that's your tribe. You go to the bar to watch the big game, that's your tribe. You go to the Renaissance Festival, oh boy, is that your tribe. And if you're the kind of person who wears a Star Trek uniform to a Renaissance festival, eventually you'll see somebody give you a wink and then show you the Enterprise comm badge he's got hidden under his period-accurate leather vest. Those people are in two tribes together. Now, obviously, some people take this too far and think that being a member of one tribe somehow makes all other tribes your enemy. I believe it was the great St. Francis of Assisi who had a name for these people, dumbasses. Hating somebody because they've chosen a different tribe is idiotic. I don't even hate Atlanta Falcons fans. I'll never not laugh at 28-3, but that doesn't mean I wouldn't be friends with somebody who's a Falcons fan. Hey, Brian. So let's be clear about something. If you're the kind of person who bullies an actor over a role that they've taken until they quit social media, you're the bad guy. If you're the kind of person who tosses slurs at somebody because they're wearing a boy band t-shirt, you're the bad guy. If you're the kind of person who wants to throw a punch at somebody because you don't like the team on their hat, you're the bad guy. The power of storytelling is that it brings us together. If you're using it for division, you're using it wrong. And that is why I love the Olympics. Every 2 years, we get an opportunity to be a part of one of the biggest tribes possible. So to all the members of Team USA who gave us great stories over the last 2 weeks, thank you. And we can't wait for LA 2028. Now, none of my books are about sports, but one of the main characters in this one is a football player. His name's Carry-On Hall. You're going to love him. So, Eddie, what is your favorite Winter Olympic sport?
Ice hockey.
Ice hockey. He's his mother's son.